The case study that follows illustrates the use of interest-based ideas in a recent negotiation between the Homewood-Flossmoor School District in Illinois and its teachers' union. Following a very tumultuous prior negotiation, the parties attended this seminar and, in fact, negotiated a tentative agreement while they were here. The case study also illustrates how these ideas can be used on a day-to-day basis to change the culture and to realign the ongoing relationship.
I want to give you a little overview of the high school. Homewood-Flossmoor High School is 25 miles straight south of downtown Chicago. We have 3,000 students. It's a culturally diverse school. We are upper middle class. We're a one school district. We have a $40 million budget. Very good school, nationally recognized. We're one of only 2 schools in the state of Illinois that have received the U.S. Department of Education's Blue Ribbon Award. So we're a high-profile school, and it's a great district. But we've been through a lot, and we're really excited to share it with you. And I think once you hear what we've done, you may really get a better grasp of what you're hearing. We had a very nasty climate that we were operating in, and we used this framework, and we've completely changed the culture of the way we bargain and basically the culture of the organization.
I don't think you can get as ugly as we got in just one negotiation. So we had a 3-year reopener, and this is where it got ugly. Some of the board members resigned, so the president changed. And there was one board member in particular who is a labor lawyer for Walmart and McDonald's. And he took over as chief negotiator. There were 3 on my side of the table, and there were 7 on their side of the table. Okay, I'm not easily intimidated. That's not a problem. But when it became apparent that they were just going to be arrogant and patronizing, it just became more and more insulting. I would bring in a proposal, a salary schedule. They would tell me, well, Jean, we're not going above 3%. So you just better take this back and sharpen your pencil. So I went to my constituents and motivated them. I can't say I did that alone. They were pretty ticked off. We got them to go to a school board meeting and listen to these people themselves. But it became apparent that nobody was listening and nobody cared. We did informational picketing. We had T-shirts made with the union's name and symbol on it. We had Black Fridays. On Friday, we usually wear the school colors, red and white. We all got black T-shirts and wore them on Friday. Mine came with a Shakespeare saying, the first thing we do, kill all the attorneys. Eventually, we asked for a mediator. The district brought in Jim, who's excellent, and at calming me and everybody down. We got a federal mediator because we couldn't even sit in the room. We didn't even want to look at each other. Eventually, Jim, the UNISERV director, and my vice president of negotiations and myself sat with a salary schedule on the projector and started eliminating where we could take out money so we could get someplace close to where the little bit the school board moved. We did get a 2-year money for that contract, but trust me, no one was happy. We didn't stop Black Fridays. We felt totally disrespected, totally abused, and totally taken for granted.
From the board's point of view, our approach was very traditional, and it obviously didn't work. We came in, we shared no data. Before our first meeting, we said we are not going to go above X% no matter what. And we had really little or no data to support that. And anytime they came in, we would just say no, unless you're at our number, bottom line. There was no conversation at the table. They would bring in a proposal and we'd accept it, and we'd set up a next meeting date, and vice versa. No dialogue whatsoever. We had one chief spokesperson. Dave and I were told, you can't even speak. There is no conversation at the table. You guys just take notes. So it was just one-on-one, very bare bones, traditional bargaining that obviously didn't work.
And I know Joel, when we came out here a year ago, Joel said over and over, you need to understand why the other side is asking for what they're asking. And that's something we never did before. We never even cared to understand why they were asking for what they were. So we listened, like Ken said, we just listened. We sat there for hours just listening to them vent and complain and bitch about everything under the sun, about you guys are arrogant and this is what you're doing wrong. And they were right. So we listened, and it slowly started to earn the trust back and build the relationship back. So then we all agreed to come out here. We talked to the insurance committee.
Dave and Ken had come to this program, and I didn't know that. I received a flyer on this program as president of the union, and I took it to the superintendent and said, I think the four of us need to go do this. She said, well, Ken and Dave have already done it. I said, that's fine, but I want the four of us to do this. It will give us a common process. It will give us common vocabulary. We'll all be speaking the same language on the same page. And if the board doesn't feel that sending Dave and Ken one more time is worth their money, then here's what we'll do. We'll go to the program, and when we're done with the program each night, we'll go back to our room, and we'll negotiate the salary schedule.
So we arrive, the four of us get here, actually the two of us. Ken and I flew in 2 hours before Jean and Leanne did. We're hungry, we get in, it's like 5 o'clock, we go get a bite to eat. And this guy, Ken, slips at Cheers and snaps his fibula and his tibia. And we spent all night at Massachusetts General, and we're saying, how the hell are we gonna negotiate? How are we gonna attend the sessions? How are we gonna go to the room? Well, he was a trooper, he had a full leg cast. We did attend the sessions, we went up to the room, both of the nights until 3 in the morning, the four of us, and we hammered out salary schedules. And we actually had a couple of laughs. It was kind of fun. So we left here with salary schedules already intact, and within 30 days of leaving here in December, we ratified our new contract, which was fiscally responsible, fair, and equitable, and we actually ratified the new contract 8 months prior to expiration, which was unheard of in our day and age. So morale, we go back to the Ford and we ratify this thing. We make joint presentations, the four of us, to the school board. We make presentations to the membership. And we say, listen, we use this new framework that we learned at Harvard, and we're not only going to use it in negotiations like we just did, but we're going to use it in the day-to-day culture of the school. We're going to listen. We know that you feel intimidated. We know that you have felt over the years that we haven't listened to you, but we're going to rebuild that relationship. We're going to change.
We even shared with the membership the data that Ken and Dave had received from is it the county treasurer? Yeah. On what kind of projection of income can the school expect from taxes, because there are, what do they call those things?
Tax caps.
Tax caps. So that we even shared with the membership, because that's what they told us to do. Talk to everybody, get everybody on the same page, knowing all of the information, and they're reasonable, intelligent people. They can figure it out. So I didn't go in and say, like all my predecessors did, I recommend that you accept this contract. I went in and said, these are the facts. Here's the data. Here's how much money we can expect to get. Here's where other schools in the area are. Here's where you're going to be.
So now the challenge that we knew we had is now we've ratified the contract. Now we have to sustain this effort and this momentum that we've created. So we worked with our support staff using the same framework. We're now working with our parapros very shortly using the same framework, and maintenance as well. We're going to be doing all of these groups using the same framework, and it's really getting inculcated into the culture, this framework. And I'll give you an example just 2 weeks ago of how we're using this issues analysis worksheet in the day-to-day operation of the school. The new president came before us and said, we want to take a look at extended maternity leaves. And, well, that's not our practice, but the old school Homewood-Flossmoor High School would have said, no, we don't do that. No, the answer is no, no. But what we said is, all right, well, you know what, let's pull out that issues analysis worksheet. Let's take a look at this. So we put ourselves in the shoes of the other side and work through it. And we're not done with it yet, but we're going to continue to do that. And that's been a really good tool for us, and maybe something that you want to take a look at in your day-to-day operations, because it's so easy just to say, no, go away. And that's where you create all this ill will that was pent up with our teachers union.